Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about multiplying rational numbers. So basically, the rules for multiplying rational numbers are the same as the rules for multiplying integers. So if we multiply two positive numbers, we get a positive result. If we multiply two negative numbers, we also get a positive result. And if we multiply a positive and a negative, or a negative and a positive, we get a negative result. So let's start here with example 1. First off, let's figure out what the signage is going to be. Here we're multiplying 0.6, which is a positive number, and negative 8, which is a negative number. Because we're multiplying a positive with a negative, the result will be negative. So that's our first step, is to determine the correct sign. Now I'm going to multiply 0.6 and 8, ignoring their signs because we already accounted for their signs earlier. So we know that 6 times 8 is 48. Therefore, 8 times 0.6 would be 48, but with the decimal place moved 1 to the left. So it would be 4.8 because there is one decimal place in the question in the 0.6. All right, let's try the second one. First of all, would this be a positive or negative result? Well, we have positive 5, which is a positive number, multiplied by negative 2/3, which is a negative number. So therefore, there is going to be a negative result because we're multiplying a positive with a negative. Then I want to talk about, well, in general, how do we multiply fractions? We multiply the numerators together and the denominators together. Now recall that with 5 doesn't have a denominator, and whenever a number doesn't have a denominator listed, we assume the denominator is 1. So this is the same as 5 over 1 times negative 2 over 3. So what is 5 times 2? So numerators multiplied would be 5 times 2, which is 10. Then the denominators multiplied, 1 times 3 would give us 3. So the answer is negative 10 over 3. And that cannot be reduced because 3 is prime and 3 does not also go into 10. So therefore, there's no way to possibly reduce this further. Okay, let's next do C. For C, we're multiplying negative 2, which is a negative number, with negative 3.5, which is also a negative number. Therefore, we're going to end up with a positive result because reminder that multiplying two negative numbers together, whether it's integers, rationals, irrationals, whatever it is going to give us a positive result. Then I must multiply 2 by 3.5. Now, 2 times 35 would be 70. Whereas 2 times 3.5 would therefore be 7, right? Because it'd be a 70 with a decimal place over. So therefore, the answer here is positive 7, or just 7 is fine too. All right, let's try these next ones, which are exclusively fraction-formed rational numbers. Now, in terms of what is a rational number in general, it's a number that can be written as a fraction, but not all rationals in practice are always written this way, although all the ones on this page are. Okay, so let's start with negative 3/4 times 2/5. Well, first of all, I notice we're multiplying a negative number, which is negative 3/4, by a positive number, which is positive 2/5. So therefore, we have a negative result. Then we have the numerator, 2 times 3 is 6. In the denominator, we have 5 times 4, which is 20. So we have negative 6 over 20. Now, this can be reduced because both of these have a common factor of 2. So if I divide 6 by 2 and 20 by 2, I get negative 3 over 10. And that cannot be reduced any further from that point. Okay, now let's try part B. For part B, I notice we're multiplying two negative numbers together, negative 2/5 and negative 3 over 8. So therefore, we'll get a positive result. 2 times 3 would be 6, and then 5 times 8 is 40. And then if we divide both of these by 2, we can reduce this to 3 over 20. And because 3 is prime and cannot go into 20 evenly, that tells us that this is the final answer, 3 over 20. Okay, let's do one last one for today. So here in this one, we're multiplying 3/4 by 1/6. So we're multiplying a positive by a positive here. And so therefore, we're going to end up with a positive result. Now I'll multiply numerators. So 3 times 1 is 3, and 6 times 4 is 24. Then I'll notice that these do have a common factor, which is 3. So if I divide both by 3, I get 1 over 8. And so that's my final answer, 1 over 8. As always, if you do have any questions about any of that, feel free to put those down in the comment section, and we'll see you for the next one.